Hello YouTube. Sorry it's been a while, but had things going on in my life, but won't go into that detail. What we're going to go through today, going to go through the Formula One season so far. Going to quickly look at the drivers and explain which team they're with, and then I'm going to say how I think they've gone so far this season. We're only halfway through the season, and I thought it'd be a perfect time to do a video on this.
Okay, F1 2017. First, just like I said, just gonna quickly just mention the teams, the drivers, how I think they've done this season, with the points tally that they have, and the resources that they have. Also, there will be some extra names in here because some teams have had an extra driver due to other reasons, which I will quickly explain as well. Just going to say that I've been watching Formula One now for many years. My first recollection of watching Formula One was watching it with my mum, my dad, and my brothers and my sisters on a Sunday afternoon. We all used to support the German Michael Schumacher when he was in the Ferrari. I think it was his first or second season. I started really getting into it, and I really enjoy it. And has got bit down just recently, a bit boring, but with the new owners, hopefully it'll just get better and better. And some of the races this season have been absolutely brilliant. So start with Sauber. Okay, Sauber Ferrari or Sauber team. Not really a lot I can say about them really. It's Pascal Wehrlein and Marcus Ericsson. Pascal Wehrlein actually wasn't in the first two races after he injured himself in a race of champions before the start of the season. So a guy called Antonio actually took him over. But he didn't score any points, so that's really not relevant. Apart from the fact that obviously he had two races. But Pascal Wehrlein scored 5 points. You've got to give it to him. He's in a very unspectacular car, to be quite honest. The car itself is not the best. It's not very quick at all, even though it's got a Ferrari engine in it. But it just proves that even if you've got a good engine, you need the rest of the car to work. And Marcus Ericsson, not really much to say about him either. He's actually scored no points this season, unlike his teammate. The team itself isn't brilliant, but they've got limited resources, so that's why. Okay, the Renault Works team. They've got two drivers, Nico Hulkenberg and Jolyon Palmer. Now, Nico Hulkenberg, excellent driver, can't say really much else about him. He scores consistently normally, and he's a really good driver. I mean, I've rated him for years when he's been at other teams as well. He's done really well there. Now he's gone to the Renault team. He's doing the business. He's getting the points. Jolyon Palmer, on the other hand, hasn't scored any points. However, he has had a lot of bad luck. He never seems to actually finish a lot of his races due to the car breaking down. So he has had a lot of bad luck, but that I don't think you can really keep that as going as an excuse, to be honest. But I just hope that they keep him for another season next season, and I hope that he can actually show what he can do, because I think we'd all like to see another British driver on the grid racing near the top. Okay, McLaren Honda with Stoffel Vandoorne and Fernando Alonso. Now, Stoffel Vandoorne, being a rookie this season, wasn't expecting huge things from him. He has surprised me. He's got points. He does have a bit of bad luck on his side as well every now and then, but he managed to get 1 point in a race, so that's good for him, because obviously sometimes you come in and you don't get a single point for the entire season. So he's done well with that one. But now we go on to Fernando Alonso. In my opinion, the best racing driver, as in wheel to wheel racing, that you can possibly get. He is there's no much you can say about him. It doesn't matter what car you put him in, he will ring that car to ring it at its neck to get every little bit of speed out of him, and that's the difference between a good driver and a world class driver that like Fernando is. And yeah, he's been a bit frustrated with the fact that the McLaren is underpowered. The engine isn't brilliant, the Honda power isn't there, but he still scores, and he's still a good racer in my opinion. Okay, the Haas team, the American team, they're actually classed as Haas Ferrari because they've got a Ferrari engine, and pretty much everything else in that car is Ferrari designed in some way, shape or form, but we won't go into that. But the two drivers, they've got Roman Grosjean and Ken Magnussen. Now these two drivers are very, very well in the way of speed. They're both about the same speed. They're both decent when it comes to qualifying and results, so there's not much to choose between them. Only 7 points this season. Yeah, Roman Grosjean is obviously the leader of the team. He always seems to just do a little bit more better than Kevin Magnussen. Kevin Magnussen always seems to get a little issue or something. But no, I think they're both three decent drivers, and yeah, the Haas team is still young. It's only about second or third year in the sport, so they've still got some growing to do. But yeah, it's a decent team at the moment. Just have to wait and see how the team progresses. Okay, the Toro Rosso team. It's got Carlos Sainz and Daniel Kvyat in it. The team, it's got the engine that they've got is last year's Ferrari engine, after they had a lot of problems last year getting an engine supplier for this season. So it's not the one that they wanted, obviously, but at least they've got an engine so they could actually race this season. Now, Daniel Kvyat, he does get a lot of stick for being quite and sometimes overly aggressive. Now that's not a bad thing, but it does get him into trouble quite a lot. And I think if he's going to progress any further, he needs to be a little bit easier with how he races, because he does push his luck and gets a lot of penalties and all sorts of stuff. Carlos Sainz, on the other hand, he's a very, very comfortable racer. He's very quick, and he does score regularly, and he's always around the top 10 area, and he has a really decent points tally for that team. So yeah, nothing else really to say about that. Okay, the Williams team. It's going to take a bit of explaining to do, so just bear with me. The first one I'm going to talk about is Lance Stroll, the rookie. He's had a fantastic season so far, finishing third a couple of races ago, which shocked everybody, although it was a bit of a weird race, so that's understandable. But yeah, I think he's a real prospect for the future, and I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. We'll just have to wait and see how he goes. Right, this is going to take some explaining, but I'll try as quickly as I can to do this. Felipe Massa is the second driver in the team. Now, last season he announced he was retiring, but at the end of the season, the world champion Nico Rosberg at Mercedes quit Mercedes after he got his world championship, and Bottas, who was supposed to be in the Williams this year with Stroll, obviously then moved to Mercedes, for the faster car, which left that Mercedes Williams had an issue that they only had one driver, and fortunately for them, Felipe agreed to come back to the team this season, because they couldn't get anybody else in to do the races for them. Now, Massa, he's had a decent-ish season. Hasn't been his most spectacular. He's only about 5 points ahead of his ahead of Lance Stroll in the points table. But yeah, he's had a bit of an okay season, but nothing spectacular. Okay, now in my opinion, the surprise package of the season so far, Force India. They've got a really small budget, hence the reason why I said that this is a surprise that they're so far up the table. They score regularly. Both cars are usually in the top 10 in pretty much every single race, which is a big surprise. I do have a problem with the fact that their car is pink, but that's down to the sponsors. But to be quite honest, the car itself is really quick and everything, and it's like it's pretty fast. I mean, it's not with the top runners yet, but it's close. And the two drivers they've got, Sergio Perez, Esteban Ocon, absolutely brilliant combination. Perez is known for his able to keep a car going and protect the tyres, which is very handy in the sport Formula One at the moment. And he always scored regularly, even at other teams. Esteban Ocon, on the other hand, this is his first full season of Formula One. He finished last season in the Manor racing team before they collapsed due to financial reasons, and he surprised everybody, even including me, I must admit, on how well he's done. He scores just as regularly as Sergio Perez does. It's very rare that he actually does not finish, which is always good. And I'm expecting a lot of big things from him in the future. Okay, Red Bull Racing with Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo. Now, these two drivers are probably two of the youngest drivers and the two youngest driver combinations I think that's on the grid. They're both exciting, and they both both very and I don't know what it is, but they're just exciting to watch. Max Verstappen in particular, he finds grip and overtakes cars where basically it shouldn't be allowed. My brother put it best. He said when Max probably took the overtaking book, he probably took it, looked at it and threw it out the window, because he just takes over where you really shouldn't be able to take over. He's had a lot of bad luck though this season. He's been in really high scoring position and his car always seems to break down. So he's had a lot of bad luck this season. I just hope that for the second half of the season his car actually doesn't break down and he can do what he does best, which is race. Daniel Ricciardo. Now, he's more reserved, but he's still a very good racer and still good at overtaking. He's actually won one race this season as well, which is always good. The car, in my opinion, isn't quite good enough to do that, because it's just not, it hasn't got the speed. But the car itself, but the rest of the car is really good. So if they can get a decent speed in that car, get a decent engine, it'll be really, really, really quick. Okay, Ferrari with Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen. Now, everybody said at the beginning of the season that this is the team that was going to take the fight to Mercedes, who have had basically the run of the green the last 2 years, and they have. I'm not going to lie, they have. Vettel has given Lewis Hamilton a run for his money. Kimi Raikkonen and Bottas have had, well, they're always going to be fighting. They always seem to be fighting, always seem to be right next to each other on the grid, and they've collided with each other a couple of times as well. The car this year is really, really quick, and quite good, reliable. They've had a few little niggles, here and there, like every team does, but they seem to get, they always seem to finish at least one car in the points, which is always good with the constructors. But I'm pleasantly surprised that Ferrari are back up at the top where they need to be, and fighting with the proper big teams, because Ferrari and Formula One go hand in hand. And I think Raikkonen he's done really well this season as a second player to Vettel. Vettel is the leader, and I don't care what anybody says, I don't care what Raikkonen says, I don't care what anybody else says. That is the basic of it. That Raikkonen is the second driver, and Vettel just needs to calm down, because he has hit Lewis Hamilton and got a good slap on the wrist. I think he should have been got more than that, to be honest, but that's just my opinion. Okay, the team tipped to win the championship this season, Mercedes. Now, at the beginning, it was supposed to be Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg again, but as I explained when I did the Williams, Rosberg left, and Bottas, who was at Williams, came in. Now, Bottas has actually given Lewis a run for his money at certain events. Lewis is still the quickest. I still feel that in the end he will still win the World Championship. We will have to wait and see on that, but I still think he will win the World Championship from Vettel. Yeah, he's quick, and they're both very quick, and the car itself is very quick as well. Obviously, being a double world champion constructors champion 2 years in a row, you know, everyone's expecting them to win again, but this year they've got some competition with Ferrari, so that's always good, because it's now not just between the two teammates, it's actually now between teammates and an extra car, which is also causing them problems. And you know, they started off a bit slow, but they've certainly picked up the pace and got back on top. And Lewis said he's looking forward to this break that he's in now, so hopefully he'll come back and he'll be stronger, and he'll start showing us what he can really do, and winning the races and winning the World Championship for the 4th time. Okay, well, thank you for watching this video. I hope that you liked what you saw. If you do, please subscribe and check out my other videos. If there's any comments you'd like to leave about what you think of the F1 season this season, please put it in the comments below. Also, anything that you'd like me to do on my channel, please also put that in there and let me know as well. And yeah, see you next time. Thank you.